Coach, the G-Day game is supposedly fun for the fans and everybody. You guys are still in business mode. Is there anything specifically that you're looking for?
Well, one other thing about G-Day I didn't mention is I do like the fact that when we scrimmage, it is a scrimmage, but it's it's a game. Like normally when we scrimmage, if we go 8 plays for the offense, we'll go 3 plays, and if it's 3 and out, we'll start again, move it back, and if we go 5 more plays, get to play number 8, even if it's 2nd and 1, we stop. But the rule is if the offense never gets stopped somewhere along the line and it's the 8th play, defense never made a stop, then they can keep going. So there's a lot of times an offense might fumble the first snap, drive is stopped, start a new drive, go 7 plays, and be in great position to drive the field, but it's over, you got to stop. So it's, and then the field position is different too, in that after punts and all that, there'll be short fields, there might be turnovers, or so many things that can happen that you don't do in a scrimmage. But to answer your question, I'm looking for competition. I'm looking for guys that can prove they're ready to play. Bottom line, are you ready to play for us? Are you ready to play hard enough, long enough to earn the right to play? And that's what we're trying to figure out. And that's what I said to the team right here in this room when we first started. My goal is for every one of these guys to play. If they can convince the coach they're game ready, we're going to get them in the game. And the more depth we have, the better chance we have of being a great team. And I know they want to fight for starting positions too, and I know everybody wants to know who the starters are, but I'm more concerned of did you put yourself in position to get playing time, and once you do that, you win that starting job too.
Speaking of that, any group in particular any more spirited than others that you've noticed?
The whole spring, I don't know. I think you might have said our DBs, pretty spirited group. Asher has led the group in my opinion with his play, and they've got after it pretty good. Rashad Jones has really come on. Banks, I always want to call him Blue. Banks has made some great strides, I think. Of course, Bird already's kind of been more of a proven player. These younger guys are coming along. Prince had a good spring. Marcus Brown, I thought, had a very good spring. He's a senior now, and sometimes by this time in your career, you tap out, but I thought he improved. Brian Evans did some really good things. I mean, we're pretty solid back there right now. And I'll tell you, Knox looks like he's come along. I'm always excited about that too.
Coach, another young defensive back, Vance Cuff. Coach Martinez said earlier today that hindsight, of course, is 20/20. Maybe he would have been better served to have a red shirt last year, but depth maybe didn't allow that. Talk about how he's come along this spring.
Yeah, fundamentally good, but he's still got to get stronger. I'm sure that's what Coach Martinez was talking about. There's just certain coverages and the supporting of the run game where you got to be, you got to be physical, you got to be strong, and he's getting there, but he's got a ways to go. And when he gets real strong and confident in that strength and how to use it, then I think he's gonna be a great player. And I didn't mention him, but he does better right now in coverage. He's very fast, can jump, change direction. I don't think we'd have much trouble thinking of him as a cover guy, but he's got to be a little more physical in the run.
You look at Darryl Gamble's productivity this spring. It's more a matter of, obviously Denell and I imagine Rennie aren't getting as many snaps as they would in the fall, and you have some injuries. Or has he really taken a step forward?
No, he's definitely taken a step forward. He started coming on mid-season last year, and it kind of started in the inside drill. For most linebackers, it starts to happen in the inside drill because it's a confined area. There's a pretty good chance you're going to get a few good shots in there. And now are you going to face the issue? You're going to be timid. You're going to take on that tackle coming around or that guard pulling around or that fullback. And he has done that. He's actually stoned our lineman a couple times in the fall. So we're seeing him come on, but then, you know, do you understand the system well enough to play down after down after down? We didn't think he was there last year, but now we feel a lot better. Sorry. I knew it was coming. And I didn't have any Powerade today. The one day I needed it.
But once the G-Day game is over, where does your focus go to?
Our focus will be cleaning up the spring, looking at all the things that we did offensively and defensively, and decide what we might keep, what we might throw out. We're going to have exit meetings with our players, talking to each player individually about what they do well, what they need to improve on between that point and the fall beginning, so they have a real clear understanding of where they stand. And then the focus will be recruiting, breaking down as much film as we can, watching as much film as we can, trying to determine where each coach is going to go once we hit the road, recruiting. And you know, we're always going to hit Georgia, but we have to try to be a little more calculated out of state where we're going to go, who's going to go there, those types of things. That's really the main thing.
On that note,
Goodness.
didn't mean to get you choked up, but high school coach. Some high school coaches are saying that, you know, it's become such a big business now. I mean, the internet and all that, and some of them have even called it quits. Do you think high school sports has become such a big business now that making it easier or harder for kids to get noticed?
I think it's probably easier for kids to get noticed. There's so many camps, combines, junior days, I mean, everything you could think of, and still spring ball. So, and then, you know, with the internet, if a guy, it used to be we'd have to get tape from each school and break it down and view it, and we still do that, but every once in a while you'll get an internet-based, recruiting-based company that has some film up before you can get it, and we watch some off of there. Now, those are highlights, so you watch those enough to generate interest. If you generate interest with it, then you go back and watch a couple games. Because if everybody just put their very best on there, it could be deceiving. Just like today's practice, if you'd have put all the great highlights of practice, you'd have said, "Wow, look at that! It's awesome." If you'd watched the whole thing, you might not have felt that way.
Got anything else?
Is it tough on you think it's tough on the high school coaches though? I mean, with all they have to go through.
There's a lot. You know, change is hard. Number one, and but it does get out of hand, and if the parents get too caught up in it, if the kid gets too caught up in it. No, I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing more early commitments. I think high school coaches are now recommending that a kid make a decision. First of all, when it's peaceful and not crazy, not in the middle of the season, or not right at crunch time. And then, but also it allows that kid to concentrate on his senior year, which he should. Now, this kid's probably his leader, probably one of his better players, and his focus needs to be on his team. You know, if you're the head coach of that high school team, you want your players focused on winning and playing well for you and leading your team, not worried about where he's going to go. So I think that's part of the reason why people are committing a little bit early. Okay.